Hey guys, so this is your video for step 3 of the research paper. This is for works cited pages, and I'm going to walk you through how to get your works cited page done. Since we're in quarantine, we're actually going to do this a little bit differently from how I normally do it. My goal is to make this as simple and straightforward as possible. So watching this video is going to help you see exactly what you need to do, and you should be able to get this done and submitted in no time. So give me just a second. I'm going to share my screen with you. So I'm going to start off here with your research paper slideshow right here. Today we're working on the green slide, which is step 3. And you can see a couple of things. Your due date, May 13th. That's Wednesday by midnight. I don't think you'll need that long, but you've got plenty of time for this. And on this slide, you'll have the link to this screencast. You'll have a set of instructions. You'll have a sample of a completed works cited page so you can kind of see what the overall thing should look like, and a link to the Schoology assignment to submit your works cited. So if we click first on the Schoology assignment, that's going to take us out to this page. And it'll say use the attached doc to submit your works cited. The instruction sheet is attached. All other reference materials can be found at this link, the green slide. That'll take you right back. The instructions are here, and then of course you'll have my document, which we'll get to in a minute. First, however, I want to show you the instructions. And so here we go. The first thing you want to do is you've already picked out your sources. You really want to make sure that your sources do have useful information first. Sometimes when we're picking out sources, we really don't think about it, but does this source answer the research questions that I have? That's sort of number one. You're saving all your sources to your Google Drive, which you've done either by using that feature in the database, or you've just put links into a doc, which is awesome. Your works cited page is going to include 3 to 4 sources. That's what we're aiming for here. So this is not a ton. You're not putting in tons of research. 3 to 4 sources is what you're going for. To set up your works cited page, you're going to use the template that I give you, which I'll show you momentarily. Sources are going to go in alphabetical order. You're going to use 1-inch margins and 12-point Times New Roman font, which if you use the template that I'm giving you, you should be good on that. You might need to change the font if you paste some things into it. It'll change the font on you, so you might need to fix that, but the margins will stay put. And then finally, you want to review the sample to make sure yours looks the same. And so before we do anything else, let's look at that sample just so you can kind of see. I know you've done works cited samples. You've done works cited pages before, so you kind of know what they look like. But this is just a real easy, quick, simple sample of what it's going to look like. It's going to have your name up here at the top. It's going to have works cited here. You're going to have 3 to 4 sources. Here I've got 4 of them. They're in alphabetical order. Okay. They're double spaced all the way through, and every line after the first one is indented. That's what we're going for, and we're going to go through the steps for how to make that happen. So then the other thing is, if we go back to the instructions sheet, it's going to talk about how to cite your sources. Now, normally, if we were in school, you guys are getting lucky here, because if we were in school, I would be showing you how to cite each of these sources from scratch. We would look up all the appropriate information, we would plug in a formula, and we would do it on our own. However, since we're in quarantine, we want to make this as simple and painless as possible for everybody. All right? So here's the thing. As you're probably well aware, for each database source, either Gale or SIRS, it gives you a suggested citation. All right? And I'm going to show you here in a second how to find it. You're going to simply copy that citation into your works cited doc, and then you got to fix the formatting. And there's 4 things I'm going to ask you to do. Put them in alphabetical order, double space them, do that hanging indent, and I'm going to ask you to change the long URL, which is in it, to the short URL. Right? And then down here at the bottom of this instruction sheet is just kind of a reminder that as we move through this process, your works cited page might need to be revised. You might need to add a source or delete a source. If you decide one of them is like not good and you don't want to use it and you choose something else, you might need to do this at another later step in the process too. Because your works cited page always has to match up with the sources that you're actually using. So to get down to it, I have a a blank works cited page here. So if this is my works cited page, the first thing I want to do is go up here into the header, and I want to change this to my last name. You can keep this one, that's the page number. For right now, your works cited page is all you got. You can see in this doc, I have it set up that there's already the correct font and hanging indents and all that jazz. When we paste it in, that might not stay there. We might need to make that spacing correct. But all right, so we're gonna go over here to ProQuest. And oh man, I thought I already had this up. Oh, I did. Okay, never mind. All right, so we're gonna go over here to ProQuest. I have it up. Here's an article I found. If you remember, my my example topic is self-driving cars. So this is a article from a magazine, how angry truckers might sabotage self-driving cars. And I've got the whole article here, and I've decided, yes, this has material I want to use. On ProQuest, it looks like this. If I go up here to this Cite button, it's going to bring up a little pop-up window. It's supposed to bring up a little pop-up window. It did earlier, 5 minutes ago, when I checked this out. There we go. Okay, so what you need to do here, and this is really important. See how this says APA, American Psychological Association 6th edition? That's not what we're using here. We need to scroll down and choose MLA 8th edition. I will know if you don't do that step because it's not gonna look right. We have a citation right here. You're simply going to copy, and then you're gonna go over here to your works cited. And you're gonna click in paste, okay? Easy enough. Now this is the only one in, so it's G. I need to change it to the correct font. I need to change it to Times New Roman 12 point. I need to make it black. And I need to make sure that my line spacing is in fact set to double spacing with 0 before, 0 after. Perfect. Okay, now if we go back to our instructions, I've got it double spaced. I've so far got it in alphabetical order. I got to do the hanging indent, and I got to change this URL. The reason I'm asking you to change the URL is look at how ridiculous this is, right? We need this URL, but at the same time, like, we don't need all of this. So what I'm going to ask you to do is take it back to here, and then you're done. It even has your hanging indent already done. I would suggest, I'm not going to hold you accountable for this point-wise, but please take a minute to make sure that all important words are capitalized. Sometimes the databases don't do it that way. Okay, so that was ProQuest. Like I said, the most important thing you got to know here is that you have to change this to MLA 8th edition. All right, and then I need to go back into Destiny because I must have accidentally closed the window where I had the Gale. So apologize for the extra 30 seconds this is going to take. We found sources, Gale, student resources and context. I'm already logged in. I did advanced search, self-driving cars. Right, and I'll just jump right down to academic journals. Let's see. All right, let's take this one. Auto braking cuts accidents. Okay, now if I were asking you guys to do this at school, we would kind of go through and talk about what all this means and how to make it into a citation. But since we're doing this in quarantine, we've got a citation right down here. And this one, luckily enough, it defaults to MLA 8th edition. So once again, all I've got to do is copy this. And this one, we notice it starts with auto. There's no author. Oops, there's cat. There's no author. So we need to alphabetize this one according to the A in auto. So this one's actually going to go before the previous one. So I'm just going to stick that down there, and I'm going to paste. Okay. And then we kind of have the same deal. So we need to change this to Times New Roman, 12-point font, black, okay? And then same thing here. We're gonna delete all of this. And actually, we're gonna delete this too. This is not part of MLA 8, so for some reason, they have it there, take it out. This is all I wanna see. So you're gonna have 3 to 4 sources. Of course, my example here only has 2 because I wanted to show you how it worked, but that's it. Alphabetical order, double-spaced, hanging indent, short links. It doesn't matter if this is actually a link or if it's just the URL. It should have a period out here at the end of it. And this one, it looks like capitalizing the letters that need to be capitalized. The other stuff seems to be in good shape. And that's it. That's all you got to do. Type in your, paste them in, fix the formatting for what needs to be done, make sure they're in alphabetical order, hit submit, and poof, your works cited page is done. So much easier than if we were in school. If you have any questions, run into any trouble with any of this, please reach out. I can be found on Schoology. I'd be happy to talk with you, Zoom with you, phone call with you, message back and forth, whatever you want to do. All right. Thanks so much.